Directly ahead, will Ron Paul destroy the Republican Party? You saw Donald Trump get booed at CPAC because of Paul, and John Stossel will analyze the situation next. Stossel Matter segment tonight. As you may know, Donald Trump is considering a run for the presidency and spoke to a conservative group in Washington last week. Trump stirred the crowd up by saying Congressman Ron Paul could not win the Republican presidential nomination. Mr. Paul replied.
So I've won 11 times. So I don't know whether he has earned the, the right to criticize somebody for not winning an election when I don't know how many elections he's won so far himself.
I did not analyze Fox Business anchor John Stossel. I think it's about being realistic. And Ralph Nader, he can't win. Correct. Ralph Nader can't win.
Can't win.
Can't
Good.
win.
Shouldn't
right?
win.
Okay.
Glad he didn't.
Harold Statson. Remember Harold used to run every year?
I'm not that old, even though I'm older than you.
There are history books that you could refer to, Stossel, if you'd like.
He kept running.
Okay. And then it was Pat Paulson, remember, of the Smothers Brothers? Who, he couldn't win.
That's true.
So Trump is basically saying, look, Ron Paul, congressman from Texas, absolutely very popular in his district. He's too radical to win, and everybody's upset. I mean, I think it's the truth.
I don't think it's the truth. The reason we have elections is because we don't know who might win. And you're now talking about cutting the budget. Ron Paul's been talking about that for years. His time may have come.
Okay, come on, Stossel. You're not telling me that you think Ron Paul can win the Republican nomination. I know you're not sitting here telling me that. I'm not saying that Paul shouldn't run. I want Paul to run. He's a very interesting guy, has a lot of energy, and he can challenge the front-runner contender. Run, Mr. Paul, if you want to. He can't win, Stossel.
Well, I didn't think Barack Obama could win the Democratic nomination.
That was a whole different deal. Ron Paul wants to abolish, most of the federal government. He doesn't want to intervene anywhere overseas at any time, including
unless we're
Afghanistan.
attacked.
Well, he wouldn't. He doesn't want to be in Afghanistan, and we were attacked from Afghanistan.
And we took out the people who attacked us.
And then he wants to leave.
So do I.
Okay, but then they're going to come back, reconstitute, and attack us again.
And we'll
go
attack them
back
before they do that.
We'll attack them before.
You want to keep. You want to spend billions of dollars.
I don't want to spend anything.
Be there for 15 years.
But I know that there's a realistic reason why, in most cases, we do what we do. But Paul is basically an isolationist. He doesn't want to get involved in anything overseas, even though we have a worldwide economy. And he wants to abolish Department of Education, the IRS.
Yes. I mean, what do you mean? We have a worldwide economy. That doesn't mean government needs to try to manage it.
It doesn't. It means that certain entities need to be protected, like South Korea. All right?
South Korea is a rich country. It can protect itself.
Not
Why
from
is it our job?
Not from a nuclear North Korea, it can't?
It certainly can.
No, it can't.
We need 30,000 soldiers in South Korea?
I don't know if we need that many, but we certainly have to, and that's just one example of many. So I know you like Paul's philosophy.
Yes.
Okay, and that's fine, Stossel. You want to be a nutty fruitcake, you can be one, all right? But he's not going to win because most people they don't want that big a change.
Well, even if it's true that he couldn't win.
Are you willing to bet me? I will bet you Ron Paul doesn't win one primary if he runs. Not one. Are you willing to sit here and bet me $1,000 for Wounded Warriors?
Sure.
Yes! All right, it's a cha-ching. All right, Donald Trump. Now, I don't think that Donald's going to run. All right, I think that Donald does what he always does. Gets a lot of attention, brings out, just as Mr. Paul does, some interesting issues. You say?
I like Donald Trump. He's wrong about a lot of things. He says we aren't manufacturing anything anymore when, in fact, manufacturing is going up. I think he's wrong about Ron Paul. And if he runs, I bet Paul gets more votes than Donald Trump. I'll put $1,000 on that.
I'm not going to, I'm not going to do that because I don't think that Donald's going to run. And if he did run, would he get more than Paul? Probably, but I'm not going to get involved with that because I don't want to be rooting one way or the other. I just don't. And I'm not going to root against Paul. If you win if he wins a primary, I'll write a check that's more than $1,000 for Wounded Warriors. All right, John Stossel, everybody, there he is. Plenty more ahead as the Factor moves along this evening. Charles Krauthammer wants to evaluate the possible Republican candidate, so we are going to let him do that. But next, Factor producer Jesse Waters.